one of the early things on the business level that I thought was interesting was that with the Audio 2 and the Alliance joint single EP album, whatever that was the first release, that was a Priority Records release, not First Priority, and then later it became First Priority. Is that because of the Hollywood compilation label that then had the Raisins and N.W.A and Eazy-E, or was that something different?
Yeah, it was because of that. And the crazy thing is, uh, neither one of us had cleared it, had trademarked it. And so then we were in a race basically to trademark it, and they trademarked it first. And we were like, all right, well, we'll just call it first priority music. And that's how that happened, which I'm happy with, by the way, that we called it first priority.
Yeah. I just was always intrigued that
Yeah, we definitely had a little conflict with that in the beginning.
and then how did because back then obviously technology and the speed of everything was a lot slower generally speaking. So do you remember how you guys came to realize there was this other label, and how did the business of that even, did you even know it was an issue?
I think they contacted us.
Oh,
I
okay.
think they actually we got some legal papers or something, and then our lawyers did the investigation, and he's like, "Oh, they didn't trademark it either." And it's like, I think that's what happened. That's a long time ago, but I do think that they contacted us. Um, and going back to the Alliance for a second, so King of Chill from the Alliance went to school with me and Giz, Brooklyn Tech, and we always like, back in the days you battle, and so we were close. Actually, he was the first person that I ever knew to have a record. And then he was the first person that actually ever took me into a recording studio. So that same demo that I'm talking about was him taking me into a studio. Um, there used to be a group called Clear. They had a song called Intimate Connection. And one of the members of Clear, Richard Lee, he had a studio in his house. And that's the studio that King of Chill took me to record the demo for the contest. So we were always close, still close. And so when we started the label, he's super talented. So when we started the label, it was just normal for us to work together.
Okay. And then what about Cool C and DJ Dice?
So um he those are he brought them on. The uh Cool C eventually changed his name to K Swift. But and they ended up with DJ Skill. They had DJ Dice and then DJ Skill, but he that was his group. He that didn't really have anything to do, like we didn't pick the members. They came along with him.
Okay. Gotcha. And then with that initial release, the I Like Cherries is on there chilling, the Freshest Slowest Jam on the Audio 2 side of things. So with that, um, getting on the Christmas rhyme changed your life. How did that affect making those early few songs?
Okay, so those songs were our first attempt at production. So that was completely new for us to actually be making the beats and trying to figure out how to produce. I think that project kind of showed the innovation because we called it a flip flop mini album, and if you flip it, it would one side's Audio 2, one side is Alliance. Nobody had ever done that before. So I think that was the beginning of us thinking outside of the box. And that was the beginning of us producing, figuring out how we wanted to sound and what we wanted to do. And like you said, even by mentioning those three names that you mentioned, we went from I Like Cherries, which is in my opinion, one of the most bugged out songs ever, to the Freshest Slowest Jam, which was trying to be innovative and do new different things that weren't done already.
Yeah. And with I Like Cherries, that has that kind of jingly type of thing. And once, we get later to the album, of course, it's not only unusual in rap, but it's just an unusual
Period. Yo,
period.
the thing that's so crazy about I Like Cherries is these days, when I hear I Like Cherries, I cringe. It's like, oh my God, I hate it. Like it's just so bizarre. But the crazy thing is, so many people come up to me singing I Like Cherries, and I'm just like, oh, it's like some kind of underground cult classic. I'm like, yo, you know that? Like, why are you singing that? They, for some reason, they love that crazy song.
Yeah, well, I did think too. It was like, what type of fruit do you like? Like I was like, what is going on with this song?
Yeah. Well, fruit that represents the girls, what kind of
Right.
girls do you like? Yeah.
Ice cream Wu-Tang style. There you go.
Mhm.
But that being said, uh creatively, uh I know it's one thing to want to be innovative and be different, but at the same time to actually do it and to be so out there, how did you get that confidence and that belief? Is that just innate in you?
I think so. I've always been confident, and I think that I had a real thick skin because of my journey when I first decided that I wanted to be a rapper, like I said in the 5th grade, when I heard Kumo D and Grandmaster Caz, and at that time I figured out what my name was gonna be. I got a jacket, and on the back of the jacket, in big, huge letters, it said Milk D. And I started wearing that jacket to school, which of course allowed all of my peers to abuse me and be like, Milk D, what is that? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper. They'd be like, oh, you're corny. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper. Watch, I'll show you, I'll show you. And that was my main slogan was I'll show you, I show you. And they used to laugh. They used to, you know how kids are. They really, really abused me, which inspired me. And actually one of my best friends in the world to this day, I met him because I was on the ferry and they were teasing me. And that particular day, they were teasing me so bad that I just got up and I went and sat somewhere else. I sat next to this guy. He was like, yo, why are they bothering you? And I'm like, because I'm going to be a rapper. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them. And, we became close and have been friends ever since.
Oh wow.
Yes. Yeah. So, so that kind of made my skin tough. And I, I began to not worry about what other people thought and just stay focused on what I was trying to accomplish.
Hmm. It's interesting too with Kumo D and Grandmaster Caz being part of the main reason or the reason you started a rhyme is that their styles, their delivery, and everything is dramatically different than yours, like not even in the same ballpark to me. Stylistically, the way you don't always rhyme per se. They're a lot faster than you a lot of the time. So what was it about them that influenced you so much, even though to me, if I just listened to you, I wouldn't have made that connection?
I think when I first started, I probably sounded more like them because that they were, I was writing like that. Eventually, I feel like I came into my own. And to be honest, a lot of people think that, top billing that's my style, but anyone that's listened to, anything else other than top billing, they realize that I have different styles that I use. I try different things. So it was the I think with it was the wittiness that made it so cool to me, what, Kumo and Cass and the stories, and it was just really cool. So I think I don't know if they inspired me style wise, but they just wanted me to be a part of what was going on because it was just so cool the way that they were spitting.
Yeah, because I
And
think
others too. It was others as well, but those were the main two.